Do you want to run a really profitable martial arts school, one that impacts lives, changes the people that come in contact with your martial arts school forever? We're talking about staff, we're talking about generations taking martial arts, we're talking about kids growing up in your martial arts school. Well, you got to make it profitable. So in this video, I'm going to show you what we did and how you can do the exact same thing. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters. Today we're talking about how to build a highly profitable martial arts school. Now the reason why I actually know how to do this is for over a decade, we've been running a very highly profitable martial arts school, generating 7 figures. I actually teach people now how to do that inside their own martial arts schools, inside of our 7-figure dojo program. But today I want to dig into the steps that you need to have when you're thinking about building a profitable martial arts school. So the real question is, why should you have a profitable martial arts school? And the answer to that question is that in order for you to reinvest, not only in yourself, right? If you have a profitable martial arts school, of course, you're making money. That's the point of business, is to make money. And everyone who started a martial arts business as a full-time thing, I'm not talking about the part-time people, I'm not talking about the people that do it as a side hustle or a way to get back, but I mean full-time, like they don't have another job to fall back on. This is their career, this is what they've decided to do with their lives. They need a business model that's actually profitable so that they can generate safety and security for themselves financially. It's very hard to pour out to people and teach them when you're worried how you're going to pay the bills next month, or when your spouse is saying, hey, I think I'm going to have to take an extra job because we just don't have enough money coming in to pay for the kids' shoes or school expenses or Christmas or whatever it is. So that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people want to build a profitable martial arts school. They just don't know where to start. So I want to show you guys and dig in to what we did to make our 7-figure dojo actually profitable, and what you can do first in yours to start getting on the right path to making it profitable. So the very first thing is you need to put marketing first. People in your area need to know that you exist. And if they don't know that you exist, there's a real problem there, because your referral network is only going to expand so far. And once you've reached the expanse of that referral network, unless people who don't actually know you exist start recognizing and knowing that you exist, well, there's going to be a problem there with flow. And you never want to have low or diminished flow of new leads, new people interested in your martial arts programs. The great news is that the martial arts industry takes up such a small segment of the expendable income that's available in your area. You basically are not going to run out of people that could be potentially interested either now or in the future about your martial arts program. So that's an amazing thing. The problem is that we can't lean on experiences that people may have had in the past that's going to get them to come to us. For example, if you ran, let's say, a fitness gym, well, most everybody's had somebody in their family that's gone to a gym, or maybe they've gone to a gym in the past, or maybe they've seen an advertisement or a billboard, or they've passed multiple gyms on their way to work. So the fitness industry, to a certain extent, does have a good bit of renown. Like, okay, if I walk into a gym, I can expect to see gym equipment. And so that's when the fitness industry has to start looking at, how do I showcase value in order for that person to pay enough money for me to then become profitable. With the martial arts industry, that's a bit different. There's a lot of people who only know a little bit about martial arts, or they don't even consider it as something that their child can do or they can do to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And so that means that we have to constantly be educating people in our community. That's why you need marketing first. If you have marketing first, if you start thinking about marketing strategies, you will never run out of leads that are interested in what you have to do. And then those leads can then be pushed on over to the second thing that you need to have in order to have a profitable martial arts school. And that's an amazing sales and fulfillment process. Now, don't get lost in this. Let me just break this down for you. So when we talk about sales, really it's just a relationship. It's just a conversation. You're having a conversation with a prospective person that might be interested in what you have to offer. Now, obviously, there's the price. It's what they're willing to pay, but not even what they're willing to pay. It's what they value your program to be worth. Now, if you do a very poor job of explaining what the worth of your program is, you can rest assured that they're not going to be willing to pay just any price. They're just going to compare it to something that they've had a previous experience with, or that they heard someone else is paying in a different city. What you want to do is you want to have a complete sales process that not only discovers what it is that they need from martial arts, but transforms their life in an interaction, and then gives you an opportunity to sell them the program that you're offering inside of your school. Very, very important distinction. It's not a transaction that's occurring, it's a transformation that's occurring. That is the real essence of sales. You've got to make sure you get that down. Now, when it comes to fulfillment, what I mean by that is, okay, if you walked into a shoe store and you purchased a pair of shoes because you wanted to take up running, they have a sales process. You walk in, their marketing got you to the store, you walk in, you talk to a salesperson or not, whichever, and you purchase the shoes. The fulfillment side is that the manufacturer had to produce the shoes for you to actually wear. Now, think about this. What if you went and purchased the shoes online? They're not physically in your hands, so therefore there would be a fulfillment to that. You paid for something and there's promised delivery to you for what you paid for. That's what fulfillment is. What's your fulfillment on the mat? What did they pay for, and are they going to get it? If you're still stuck in just saying, yeah, you're going to get martial arts classes, and that's it, there's going to be a major issue there when you start asking for $100, $200, $300 a month for martial arts classes or more for martial arts classes, because the fulfillment of that has to be more than just coming in and working out for 30 or 45 or 1 hour. It's got to be something else. And that's why you need to put some real thought into your fulfillment. Now, here's the other thing that really gets the martial arts industry in particular. You see, in the manufacturing industry, it's really easy to figure out what your cost for producing the product is. That's why margins are easy to figure out. But there isn't the same exact process for the martial arts industry. That's why it takes a little bit of math and a little bit of knowing your numbers. What does it actually cost you to fulfill what you promised? And if you don't know what that number is, if you're not including what it costs for your rent or your buildings, your utilities, what it costs to hire staff, what it costs to actually acquire the customer, and if there's no profit margin on top of that, you're just going to be bringing in money and paying out money and then wondering, where did all the money go? It's because you didn't account for profit at all. And that's something that you've got to really consider whenever you're promising things to students. Don't just promise the world and then not be able to fulfill it at all. Now, the next thing that you want to think about is, like I mentioned before, knowing your numbers is important. And the only way to know your numbers is to actually track your numbers. So if you're not tracking your numbers on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly, on a quarterly, yearly basis, it's going to be very hard for you to project future numbers, which is going to help you project, am I going to actually be able to fulfill on this thing that I said? And also, when costs rise, there's a big problem right now with inflation around the world. So when costs rise, if you're still using old pricing and you haven't figured out what the difference is in that cost and the cost of fulfillment, there could be a huge issue there, because you could start to see your profit margins slowly slipping away from you, and the amount of cash left over at the end of the month to slowly slip away as well. So if all of this is making sense and you want to know, okay, I get this, and this is how I have to build a highly profitable martial arts school, but what do I do if I know I'm making a profit, but I want to actually boost it? I'd highly suggest you check out the next video in this series, which you'll find here on the screen or in the description, and we'll be happy to show you how to actually boost your profit inside of your martial arts school. If you have not done it yet, we suggest that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that way you get notified whenever new videos drop. Until next time, keep being awesome.